Hello again, and welcome back, everybody, to another edition of the Rural Report. I am your Rural 2IC, and we're going to do our daily headlines report. Um, I will apologize for yesterday. There was a ton of technical issues. And then even today is fighting me. What I normally have that powers all of my lighting and different other things decided right before I wanted to do this to suddenly continue. I was like, you know what? I'm prepared for this. So right now, all of my stuff is running off my battery bank. So uh, that for the win. All right, we're going to jump right into this one. There was a lot of news. I scratched a ton of things out. I'm going to try and cover what I can, and hopefully, again, in the next day or so, everything will kind of ramp up. But again, it is Friday. It is heading into the weekend, and we're getting ready to go into New Year's Eve. So fingers crossed, because I have a bad feeling about this weekend. So I pray that Monday morning rolls around and everybody can uh, point off and say, "Hey, you were wrong. Nothing happened." I hope nothing happens. All right. So first thing is going to be making sure my microphone. I had to switch microphones too, which I can't even see the green dot. Usually I look for that green dot to make sure I'm live. All right. So we're going to start out in Sudan. So in Sudan, there was a group of people that raided a facility, and I don't know how this happens, but apparently, allegedly, this group took enough food that would feed 1.5 million people for a month. They're saying that this group broke into this facility, looted it, that much food. Excuse me, that's a lot of food. That would probably take a lot of time, a lot of equipment, a lot of people, a lot of logistics. Something doesn't seem right about that. Now, there's a lot of stuff going on over there, so I don't know. Just an interesting data point. Okay. Next, looks like Hezbollah said that they destroyed a bunch of the spy equipment of Israel in the ongoing border confrontation. Now they are also accusing Israel that Israeli hackers have made it inside the CCT and different cameras and different webcams, ring cams, things like that, security cameras of different private homes and commercial buildings. Now, they did this because what they're saying is they're using this to track movement of resistance fighting groups. Okay. Keep that in mind. If you have an SHTF situation happen to where there is internet, there is power, and things like that, then any one of those can be used to track movements. Now, we all know about the little device thing that you're probably watching me on and its ability to listen to you, to watch you, to track you. So, in a certain SHTF situation, as much as a lot of people don't want to hear it, it'd probably be a good idea to leave that one at home. That probably shouldn't go with you, depending on the situation. Now, there's a bunch of different things that or reasons, I should say, that you would want to take it with you, and we may be doing a video on that in the future. Hint, hint, hint. But rightfully so, Hezbollah has put out a plea to all the people, basically to turn off and disconnect from the internet. So they're saying power off all the cameras, disconnect them from all the internet, and we'll see. We'll see what happens. That data point. Moving down into Venezuela, looks like Venezuela has rejected the deployment of the British warship that has been deployed off the coast of Guyana. And in response to that, it looks like they are additionally making the announcement as they are getting ready to conduct a defensive military exercise. In this exercise, they're calling up about 5,600 troops for this defensive. So this looks like a little bit more than just an exercise, but maybe a show of force, something along those lines. Definitely a data point. So keep that in mind. Sticking with ships, a civilian ship was flying the Panamanian flag, and it was blown up after hitting a sea mine. Now, this was apparently just a ordinary commercial civilian ship, and allegedly it was just basically carrying grain, and just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time, struck one of these mines, and from what they are saying, and at least from some of the pictures, this thing's gone. Like, just, yeah, not even salvageable, gone. I can't speak English today. Excuse me. All right, so what do we got? We got the U.S. State Department has officially demanded that Iran, they have demanded Iran fully comply, and that they must de-escalate its nuclear program. I'm sure Iran's like, oh, okay, yeah, we'll do that. Um, yeah, not a chance. Now I get it. You got to do posturing. You got to do things for PR and all that stuff. Um, there's not a single person that is, has a consciousness that would think that a pinned letter saying, hey, knock it off, was going to work. So this is a whole bunch of nothing. But then again, it's a data point. We put a word out, hey, we know what you're doing. Here's an official word. We've made it public. You need to stop it. But it's also in the thing for Iran. They're going to have to do theirs. They're going to thumb their nose and say no. um, Another interesting one I saw was not only Iran, but Russia and China have completely stopped using the US dollar altogether. Now, it looks like this started out earlier on between the three countries where they were doing bilateral trade in their national currencies. But it looks like in the report I was reading, they have stopped using the US dollar altogether, completely. So, and probably not that big of a surprise with BRICS getting ready to grow in what, a week and a half, 2 weeks, something like that. So they're really going to probably dial this back in the very near future to really try and get BRICS to a good jump start. So no surprises. Looks like Poland's president today called an urgent emergency meeting with its military after something enters its airspace. Now, this was breaking news all over the social medias and telegrams and all sorts of things like that. And this went wild. So everybody agreed something entered the airspace. And it went really weird at first. It was the first couple of reports just said that something entered the airspace. Then all of a sudden it took a hard left turn and it said, this is UFOs. UFO. There's a UFO that entered the airspace and it flew in really fast and it flew in like 40 miles inland and then suddenly just disappeared. And people ate it up and just this, that, and pictures were coming out. And a lot of those pictures were debunked within minutes, going, no, that's not even beginning to be close. Then after a little bit of time, it looks like there has been an official narrative now. And that narrative is that it is a Russian missile was fired. And it entered the airspace, flew about 40 miles inland, and landed outside of a village. Now, if this holds, then that again brings up Article 5 of the NATO Charter. So this could be the start of something laying the groundwork. Now, this has happened before, and it turned out to be false. So again, I know some of you hate this. This is going to be a wait and see moment. Data point this. Okay. Next one is looks like Pakistan has banned all New Year's celebrations, and they're doing this supposedly to stand with Gaza. I don't know what that has to do with anything, but okay. My guess is it's going to be the same as why Moscow is banning fireworks. There's a lot of things going on around them that go boom, and you don't want a whole bunch of people just making booms because it gives a really easy disguise for somebody to make a celebratory boom into a very bad boom. So that would be my guess. Now, speaking of this, I want to do a little look into the past. So let me move over and I'm going to show you a picture right there. So this one, as you can see, and I'll leave it up for a second so you can actually read the full thing and who it's by and notice the date in the bottom of it. So in this, paraphrasing of course, it says Russia has no resources left and that it will basically collapse by that Sunday or whatever it says there. Now, if you notice in the bottom, it says that this was posted March 4th of 2022. So that's what, a year and a half ago now. So this was posted saying that Russia is completely out of resources. All these sanctions work. They have no more missiles left and the people, all this, and they're going to collapse. It's going to be over. Well, fast forward a bit. Okay, let's see. Did that hold true? Well, no, because it's still going on. And actually, last night, it looks like Russia threw everything but the kitchen sink at Ukraine. This is the biggest assault that they have done missile-wise and drone-wise since the start of this. It looks like right now, and again, this is relatively recent. They have targeted 10 different cities, and in those cities, they have hit things like airfields, warehouses, defense systems, fuel terminals, and critical infrastructure, as well as a bunch of other things. They hit personnel barracks and other facilities and things like that. But I mean, I think I saw reports of 100 to 120, and I think I saw something close to 150. But everybody's saying somewhere of 100 plus missiles and drones were fired in this assault. Okay, so it looks like they were really going. Now, a lot of people are pointing to the attack on the Russian ship off of Crimea, that this is a retaliation for that. Very well could be. I don't know, but it would make sense. Now, this one's going to bring into it'll segue into our United States area. So France has deployed 90,000, that's 90,000, 90,000 police across the country after it makes its announcement that they are putting the country on a very high terror threat for New Year's Eve. I don't think that they're going to be the only ones that do this. They're the first to announce a major move like that. Now, yes, we have put out some different things and all that, but I look for today and tomorrow, especially probably later tomorrow into Sunday, you're going to see probably a lot more security. Now, keep in mind on this, there's a lot that happens on New Year's. You have a lot of college football games. You have a lot of just New Year's parades, celebrations, shows, gatherings. It is very tempting targets. So again, don't be scared. If you're planning on going, go. Just be situationally aware. Know your surroundings. Make sure that you're safe. And go enjoy it. Okay, life's too short to live in fear. What you want to do though is keep an eye out. Don't go out just to go out. If you're going out to enjoy it and be with friends and family, by all means, go. But don't go out and just be like, uh-oh, I think some stuff's going to happen. I want to go watch. That's not a smart move. Okay, the biggest thing that I can tell you is don't be where the problem is. Okay. And it's one of those ones that you need to probably listen to your gut. If you was planning on going to the parade and something inside of you goes, I don't know about it, you may want to change it up. maybe go over to a friend's house or do something else, but you might want to listen to your gut on it, just this year. So let's see. Microphone is still good. All right, let's round this out in the U.S. and wrap this episode up. So it looks like the U.S. has announced that it is sending 33 Iowa National Guard troops to Kosovo. Now, why would they be doing that? Well, it looks like they're going to take part in a NATO peacekeeping mission. Awesome. Uh, I don't know if this is technically a major thing. It's something I want to keep an eye on, something to put a pin in, and just, keep a memory of that. If it was more troops and multiple states, then this would be probably something a lot bigger. This, as of right now, at least on the surface, looks kind of like what it is. So, but again, we'll just data point it. Pro-Palestine protesters, say that 3 times fast, shut down the World Trade Center in New York City. Looks like basically, from what I could tell, they basically shut down the entrance of it. I didn't see a whole bunch out of it. I know that there was some commotions. I think there was an arrest or 2 made. It wasn't anything extremely bad. They just kind of shut down the entrance so nobody can get in and out, kind of shut down the business per se. But compared to some other ones, this one was not as bad, at least from what I can tell. Next is with the announcement that Colorado took Trump off the ballot and then reversed it pending legal issues or legal matters. The Secretary of State of Maine decided to jump on and ban Trump off the ballot over there. So here we go. We already have a bunch of states that want to say, well, we're going to take the current guy off. And then you have these other ones that are saying, well, we're going to take Trump off. And this was that slope that I have been saying, on my little soapbox. This isn't a good idea. It doesn't matter who it is. Let the people decide. Put them on the ballot and let them decide. Okay? I don't know how to, if you believe in the system to where you can, and I know I just said it, and who believes in the system? Okay, I get it. But if you had a legit system, and that's what a lot of everybody keeps putting out, it's the official statement, is, the way that it all works, it's all good. Okay, there's nothing that can go on. It's very safeguarded and all that thing. Okay, if that was true, then you could have anybody you want on there because the people's going to pick who they want. Okay, so it shouldn't matter. When you start taking people's choice away, that's a really dangerous thing. Now, speaking of dangerous things, you guys remember something called the Cold War? And that was between the Soviets and the US. Well, there might be a new Cold War coming, this time between the US and Russia. Now, it may not be exactly what you're thinking. When I say Cold War, or Cold War, see, I told you I can't speak English. Cold War, I mean cold, as in the Arctic. It looks like there's a battle brewing for who has rights to different areas up in the Arctic. Now, how serious are we talking about? Well, maybe this will give you a hint. In this kind of forward positioning, we'll go that way. The U.S. announces that it is intending to send over 100 F-22 and F-35 fighter jets to Alaska. Now, what's already over there for the Russians in the different peninsulas and things like that is they have a lot of air defense and S-400 missile defense systems already over there. There was talks about sending the all-elusive S-500 defense system over there. So between the two countries, they're putting a lot of hardware and money and resources to something up there. What's up there? I don't know. If you want to go down that rabbit hole, by all means, I don't have the time at the moment to go see what is up there. I'm sure there's a bunch of amazing answers. But whatever it is, it looks like it is important. Um, Maybe we'll go in the future, but as of right now, no. If you have an idea of what it is, drop in the comments. We're all adults, we can discuss it. But yeah, you know what? That's it. That's what I've got for today. We'll wrap it up. I always try and keep these short. What am I at? I am over 20 minutes. I apologize. I try and keep it short. I know you guys have, a small amount of window and you choose to spend it with me, and I appreciate that. You have no idea how much I appreciate it. We've gained a lot of subscribers over the past couple of days, so if you're new here, welcome. The way that I tell this is that if you've made it this far in the video, you rock. Thank you very much. And yeah, so stay tuned. More information to come. And say it with me now. Above everything else, remember to remain united, because we're all prepping in this together.